Hey survivors, it's Angie Atkinson, and today at QueenMe.com, we're going to talk about 10 different types of narcissists and how they destroy your self-esteem. All right, so let's get started. My name is Angie Atkinson, and this channel is all about teaching you what I know to be true. You really can create the life you want. All right, so having a healthy self-esteem is absolutely imperative if you're ever going to be really happy. And when you have self esteem, obviously it means you have confidence in who you are as a person. And, it means you feel sure in what you do. And it means you like who you are as a person and you respect yourself. It means that you can see the value of being who you are, right? Well, self esteem is important because, you know, how you view yourself absolutely guides what you believe and how you feel. Okay. It also impacts how other people feel about you. And unfortunately, there are narcissists who can kind of latch onto your self esteem and drain it dry. It's kind of their shtick, you know what I'm saying? So you want to protect yourself from, you know, these types of people, obviously. And sometimes that means making the difficult decision to go no contact or distance yourself from people who are close to you. So the first one we're going to talk about is called the negative narcissist. This is a narcissist who can be found in conversations. So what do I mean by that? Well, the type of narcissist who will try to make you feel bad about yourself, in some negative conversations. This is the type of narcissist who will abuse you through conversation. So you can recognize it because the narcissist will try to make you feel bad about yourself. The words sound okay, but they're said in such a way that they erode how you feel about yourself. Feel me? Okay. An example of this would be someone who says something like, "Oh, that dress is beautiful. You know what? It would look even better on you if you just lose a few pounds." Yeah. Uh, you know, that's a sucker punch conversation, wouldn't you say? The first part of it was kind, and so you were kind of relaxed and open about it, right? But then the blow came, and many people, when this happens, they're totally caught off guard, and it affects their self-esteem because our self-esteem, because when we internalize it, making what was said about us instead of the person who said it. And obviously, this type of person is the type who intentionally wants to make you feel bad, even though they may not consciously admit that to you. Okay. You can get rid of these types by saying things in return like, "That's kind of personal. Why would you say something like that?" Especially if it's someone who isn't personally connected with you, right? Or a narcissist can only walk away with your self esteem if you allow it, my friend. That's all I'm saying. Now, people will tell you, certain narcissists will say things to you like, "Oh, you're ugly, you're fat, you're stupid, you're worthless." Those people are just trying to hurt you. Don't give them another second of your time, and don't put up with those types of comments. Don't tolerate that in your relationship, okay? You are not what your narcissist tells you that you are. Those statements that they make that hurt you, that's not a reflection of who you are. That's a reflection of who your narcissist is, okay? But what's worse than that is when it becomes our own head talking to us, because their voices, we hear it so often. We start telling ourselves the same things they're telling us. Maybe we say we're ugly, fat, stupid, or worthless. We erode our own self-esteem sometimes because of this abuse. And none of us are born this way. None of us are born talking to ourselves that way, but we learn it from someone who tries to suck our self-esteem out of us, usually a narcissist. Often. Once you adopt behaviors like this, and you're saying this kind of stuff in your head every single day, you have to change it. You have to make a decision every single time that thought comes in your head. You have to change it. And if you can do that, life's going to get a lot better. But if you don't intentionally control your vibration and your thought processes and patterns, you might find your life getting really shitty really fast. Let's be honest, okay? All right. Let's talk about a narcissist who abuses you through social media, okay? So This has become a huge issue, and it's growing bigger and sucking the self-esteem from millions of people, literally. It's social media has opened the door for so many people to, bring out their inner narcissist, right? So even if they didn't seem like a narcissist before, and please understand, I'm not talking about selfie takers. I'm not talking about nice people who just like the way they look in a selfie sometimes, okay? I'm talking about people who bully and tear down other people. I'm talking about the ones who are draining the self esteem of others in order to build themselves up. They say snarky comments to people. Some of them are down there in my comments every now and then here on YouTube. And, sometimes they hurt people in ways they don't even know, you know? Like there's that meme out there where they're like, that girl you called fat, well, she has an eating disorder. And that kid that you said was this, and that's the truth. People don't think, people online so often don't consider other people real people. And sometimes even non-narcissists will get in on the online bullying because it feels impersonal. But what people don't think about is the fact that that person they're bullying is a human being with feelings. They're somebody's daughter, they're somebody's son, they're somebody's brother, father, sister, mother, whatever. And it's really disrespectful, and it can really ruin lives. People don't even realize. Most people take the comments of perfect strangers to heart, and they don't take the time to recognize the comments for what they were. And this is especially true for people who are already self-esteem compromised. Do you understand what I mean? The attitude and the actions from someone who doesn't have the capacity for online maturity. Does that make any sense at all? You have to ignore the comments that try to tear you down on your social media sites, because there are many people who will consider themselves expert trolls. I have one in my head right now. Somebody I know who considers himself an expert troll. Okay? And some of those people, their sole purpose is to cause friction online. It is literally their form of entertainment. They don't think about it as people. They think about it as fun. Like they enjoy it. And I think that's an evidence of a certain type of narcissism. Social media can also cause narcissism if it causes you to, if s- well, let me just say this. Sometimes social media can affect your self-esteem in a negative way without a narcissist, because sometimes people will stare at other people's lives on social media there and wish that it was their own lives. But please, I just want to remind you to this about social media. I want to remind you that sometimes it presents a false balance of life to the world. You only get a peek into the world. You get a peek at the perfect house, the perfect family, the smiles, the laughter, and the heavily edited photos that don't show the true picture. Don't let these false representations tear your self esteem down. I'll tell you what, I don't even see it as a false picture. I see it as a picture of the best of what you are, or whoever is. And I'll tell you right now, most of my social media posts, I'm not going to show you the messy parts of my house. Okay, I did that once, but but mostly I'm going to be showing you the good parts of my life, because I'm a positive person and I want to think about mostly the good things. The things that suck in my life, I don't focus on. So you won't see those things on social media. Do you see what I'm saying? So I think most people don't think about that when they're looking at somebody else's perfect life, especially if that person happens to be like the new supply, or the girl from high school who bullied you, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Okay. A lot of social media, as I said, is embellished because people find it easier to present a better version of their lives. And often, sometimes, it greatly differs from reality. But keep in mind that many people are too self conscious to speak up about the sad side of their lives. Or some people are like me, where they just choose to focus on the positive. Doesn't mean my life is perfect. I mean, it's pretty good, but it's not perfect. Of course it's not. I'm a freaking human just like all of y'all. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, moving right along. Let's talk about the mistake kind of abuse, okay? Now look, here's the thing. You wouldn't be human if you didn't make mistakes. Neither would I. I make so many mistakes. We all do, right? But some people make a lot of little mistakes, and other people make mistakes that are huge. Okay. So, but what you have to realize is that mistakes that you've made, they don't really define who you are as a person. And they're not a picture of your future. So, a lot of times, narcissists, while a mistake is typically something that happens that can offer you the opportunity to learn from the situation, a narcissist will force you to live in that mistake as long as possible. And they will repeatedly bring it up and bring it up and bring it up and throw it in your face, no matter how bad you feel about it. And when we make mistakes, a lot of times, often those people who are closest to us don't let us go, don't let it go. And the narcissist will remind you of your mistake and how, you know, terrible it was and how bad you should feel, as though you don't feel bad enough already. And it can feel like they're kind of rubbing your nose in it, like you're a bad dog who peed on the floor. You know what I'm talking about? So they remind you how I mean, maybe you tried to start a business and it failed, or maybe you blew up the finances, or you shopped too much and bounced something here or there, or they warned you about that guy or that girl that you used to be crazy about that was terrible news. Even if you all have been married for 20 years since then. These people, narcissists, they can really be hard to take, are they not? But of course, this is even more so when you already feel bad about the mistake. You keep reminding yourself, again, how did you fail? You keep reminding yourself because, obviously you wish you didn't do what you did. Obviously, you've already beat yourself up enough and the narcissist continues to do it. So get rid of this. Tell yourself it's over and you're moving on in the right direction, whatever the mistake was. If the narcissist keeps bringing it up, you just tell them, look, it's over, move on. Don't drag it around. I'm not going to drag it around and I'm not going to let you pile it on me either. Take a firm stance against having the past thrown in your face, because it's just going to knock you down as you try to better your life. And what's the point of that, right? All right. The next type is the approval seeking type. All right. Sometimes people have a laid back personality, and that's awesome. Narcissists tend to have more forceful personalities in one way or another. And while both a laid back person and a forceful person has certain strengths, the problem obviously arises when the narcissist decides that they have a stronger personality and they're going to tell you what your life should be or shouldn't be, right? So then they'll try to make it so that you have to seek their approval through every aspect of your life. And when you try to do something on your own, they're very quick to say, look, that's not going to work, and let me tell you why. And it's really not very smart of you to attempt it. Now, what this does, of course, is erode your self esteem until you're driven to the point that you come to them for advice or help with whatever you want to do in life, because you begin to think that you can't do it on your own. They literally keep you dependent on them for your happiness and theirs, and you surrender control of your life to them in return. Is it worth it? Hell no, it's not worth it. You don't need to seek approval from a narcissist to be who you are, or from anyone, and to live the kind of life you've always wanted. As long as, like I tell my children, that life is legal and doesn't physically hurt you and is relatively ethical, I ain't gonna be mad at you. You know what I'm saying? Legal, safe, happy, that's all you need to be. Your actions are your own. And, you know, you are smart enough to reach for your dreams without having to seek approval. If you don't know the way you should go, take a deep breath and relax. You'll learn. You're capable. You don't need anyone else's stamp of approval, okay? Not mine, not the narcissist, not your mother's, not your father's, just yours. You feel me? All right, let's talk about comparisons. This is a nasty situation where we kind of put it on ourselves and we all have a little trouble with it, but it can erode self esteem pretty quickly and it can leave you feeling pretty unhappy with your life, even if you have a pretty good life. What is it? Well, it's when a narcissist makes you feel like you're not doing a good enough job with handling your life because it fails to measure up to someone else's life. Even multimillionaires can suffer from these types of things if they consider comparing themselves to like multi-billionaires, right? The comparison situation is when the narcissist piles on us the accomplishments and behaviors and general existence of other people. We might feel jealous of that person because of it. And obviously, we can experience jealousy because they, appear to have something better, or they tell you that they have something better, or maybe this happens when the narcissist moves on and is dealing with a new supply, and now they appear to have someone, who's better than you and who treats them better and whatever. But the truth is, my friend, I've done a video on this before, the new supply is almost never going to have a better time than you. The new supply will go through the same cycles you did, and so there'll be the love bombing and the devalue and the discard, no matter how attractive or rich or whatever they are. I promise you I know what I'm talking about. They say we can feel jealousy, you know, maybe we'll feel jealous because their new house is nicer or someone else's house is nicer. Sometimes the jealousy has nothing to do with an arc. Maybe we feel jealous of someone because their life seems better. Their car is newer, their clothes are more expensive, maybe they have a better job, maybe they can afford to do some home remodeling that you've been wanting to do, or some awesome decorating deal. They get to take lavish vacations to places you've dreamed of going, or whatever. But look, you got to stop comparing this, because this kind of comparison in general, it definitely robs you of living your life and enjoying it. You don't know what's going on in someone else's life, and looking at it from the outside can totally give you a distorted view, like we talked about regarding social media, right? It could be that you have more freedom than they do, that you're not in debt like they are, or that, you're not dealing with the emotional situations they're hiding from the world. You never know what is truly going on with another person, all right? Get rid of this type of behavior and this type of negativity in your life by recognizing and being grateful for the good things that you do have in your life. Refuse to allow negative feelings to tower over someone else's seemingly good fortune, all right? So then there's the type of narcissist that is always very concerned about what others think. And this type of narcissist loves to steal your self esteem. They assume that people are thinking thoughts about us that are less than kind. And they assume that that everyone's against them, and everyone, or they are the people who are focusing on, they focus so much on what other people think that they don't focus on you, their partner, or whatever. They believe people around them are talking about them, or they might think everybody thinks they're amazing and awesome, and that's how it is. For us, this manifests as, like I said, we assume people are thinking thoughts about us that are less than kind. We think they're having conversations and our names are cropping up, and it's not good. In these conversations, nothing good is being said. Certainly, they're discussing the way we look. Certainly, they're talking about how poor our products are, or the rumors they've heard about us, or whatever. But you know what? When we believe this, it makes us feel self conscious and awkward. It robs us of what could be beautiful friendships and new opportunities, because we shy away from these people, or we keep them at arm's length. We're afraid to say or do anything that will give us, that would give them more fuel to think about us negatively. This is the type of narc that you have to realize, they need to understand that other people really aren't dwelling on their lives, and as you get their voice in your head and you start to think this way, you have to realize the same thing. Most people are way too busy to keep up with someone else's life. They all have plenty to handle on their own. Wouldn't you agree? So don't let yourself dwell on what other people are thinking. Don't let yourself dwell on what other people are thinking or saying or doing when you're not around. The worst case scenario is you're right. And what if they are ridiculing you? So what? Do other people's opinions really have a place in your life? Hell no, they don't. Trust me. I have been in a situation many times where someone didn't like what I was doing, someone didn't, whatever. And you know what I always say? Cool. Have a nice day. Whatever. All right, let's talk about perfectionism. This is the situation that doesn't allow you to truly live. When you allow perfectionism to attach to your life, where you feel like you're not, you're just, everything must be just so, everything must be perfect. You don't leave the room for much good stuff to happen, because what happens is that perfectionism brings the waiting game along with it. Okay, you have to wait until everything is perfect for you to make a personal move or a professional move. You don't take chances with new ideas or ventures, because perfectionism doesn't welcome mistakes. You can begin to develop an all or nothing mentality. Perfectionism is horrible because it leaves you feeling inwardly bruised. You're going to beat yourself up every single time you make a mistake. And dude, it's not worth it. Okay. It's not. And since you're going to begin to make mistakes as long as you're breathing, I mean, everybody's been making mistakes since, depending on which religion you're talking about, since the day they were born or maybe sometime before that, right? You're going to go through life thinking that you'll never be able to do anything right if you stay focused on that. Perfectionism is a leech to your self-esteem. It will convince you that you will never be good enough, and the narcissist would be happy to have you convinced of that. You're going to walk around believing that you're a failure before you even attempt to do anything if you keep this in your head. Narcissists keep so many people stuck. The narcissist wants you to be stuck in life, and you will be stuck in a life of wanting more but never having it, because you would have to risk the fear of failure if perfectionism is your thing. Okay, let's talk about drama. Who drama? Drama narcissists, the narcissists and drama. They take from you, they destroy your self esteem, and they make you absolutely miserable. Many people have experienced drama with a narcissist. Well, many people who know narcissists. They understand that people like these don't, they take and they take and they take and they never give back to you. They aren't good for you, my friend. And with someone who's going the drama route, a narcissist who's in drama mode, whatever's going on in his or her life must be absolutely the most important thing in the world. And by gosh darn it, you must help them immediately to deal with it. You have to put your personal or professional life on hold in order to bolster them up and keep them from going under. And if you do, you get sucked in every time they need you. This destroys your self-esteem when it reaches to the point you can't be there every time they need you, because it's impacting your life negatively. Your significant other isn't happy about the amount of time the drama takes you away. So again, this is where you can't miss work maybe, or you can't concentrate on work because, and of course the significant other thing is only if the narcissist isn't the significant other. Um, but you can't miss work. You miss work, or you can't concentrate on work because the drama is wrecking your time, taking over your thoughts. Your boss might tell you you're just not cutting it at work anymore, or a business partner might feel let down by your lack of focus and commitment. To deal with this, you have to understand that for some people, drama is a lifestyle. While it might be true that they have problems, even a ton of problems, you know that if you're always the one who rescues them, you've entered into a codependent relationship. All right? That's definitely not what you want. This type of drama usually comes from toxic friends or family, but it can also be people in your professional life. And if you don't rush in to rescue them, guess what? They turn on you. They'll say you're not doing enough to help them. You're not loaning them money, holding their hand, rushing over every time they call. They'll slap ugly labels on you or tear you down. You don't have enough empathy. You're mean. You don't love them enough. How can you be so freaking selfish? When they say negative things about you, you can begin to believe that the problem is you. Especially if you're dealing with several family members or professional acquaintances in a group who are drama narcs. And it can be a big drain on you emotionally, physically, even financially sometimes. When you're always putting out fires for others and you realize someone's leaning on you too much, you put your foot down and you become available so that they're forced to handle things themselves. Or tell them to find someone else to turn to instead of you. Yeah, they're going to be frustrated with you. They might even lash out at you. But that's because they're not comfortable handling their own life obstacles. You don't want to enable them anymore. All right? Let's talk about disempowerment. This doesn't happen when your self-esteem is strong. Because when that happens, you can speak boldly about life and with confidence about who you are and what you do or want from life. But disempowerment happens when others don't value what you do or what you want. For example, if a person wants to go to an Ivy League college, if a narcissist or someone else would say to them, oh, they let anyone in there now, you know, let's say, you got accepted and they say, oh, they let anyone in there now. Well, that devalues your hard work and your effort, okay? It steals your sense of accomplishment and pride. Sorry, I've got this fruit fly in my office and it's driving me crazy. We brought in some fresh fruit the other day and I just can't seem to make this thing go away. Anyway. But it's it steals your sense of accomplishment and pride. It also can, you can kind of bring this on yourself, because if you have always wanted to, like, say, start your own business, or and someone asks you, hey, what do you want to do? If you downplay it, well, that can really be hard on your self-esteem. So don't downplay your accomplishments. Don't make light of your hard work. The problem is that if you do that, it really negatively affects your perspective. So you can recognize if you're disempowering yourself by how you speak about yourself in your own life. If you say, I wish I could start my own business, that's not the right way to do it, girl or guy. Instead say, I am starting my own business. Empower yourself with your speech. You feel me? All right, let's talk about conforming. This happens when, someone looks at how things have been done and they don't see a way to do it any differently. So the narcissist will, require that you conform because it's the way that they want. The strength of this type of issue is found in tradition, of course, in the way that things have always been done, and instead of the way things can be done better. This type of situation erodes your self-esteem by insinuating that your ideas are foolish and that there's no way that they'll work because no one else has ever been able to accomplish that, as the narcissist, I'm sure, will tell you. You can talk yourself out of trying anything if you allow the conforming, a narcissist who requires you to conform to dictate what you do or don't do in life, right? So you might hear this referred to as taking the road not traveled. The reason the road isn't taken and new ventures sometimes don't get off the ground is because people are afraid to stand out, afraid to run with an idea that others say can't be done or is different from what's been done before. So when you have an idea and you tell yourself that it's foolish, or you allow other people to convince you that it's foolish, your self-esteem takes a hit, because you can start to believe that you're not as smart as others who have found success. Okay? And that, my friend, is no bueno. So you need to start believing in yourself again. Start believing in your ideas, because that's how life changes for the better. Stop putting limitations on yourself. Stop allowing the narcissist to put limitations on you. Free yourself from all of those chains and start your life again. Okay? I promise you, that's the way to go. All right. I'm going to wrap up for right now, because I do believe I need to go make cupcakes with my beautiful daughter. Have a wonderful day, everybody. I will see you tomorrow for another video. Thanks so much for being a part of my day and a part of my life. I'll see you soon. It's my mission to teach others what I know to be true. You really can create the life you want. Take care of your body. Take care of your soul. Nurture the real you and introduce him or her to the world. Be comfortable in your own skin and in your place in this world. Take your spot. Take it now. And the universe will take its cue from you. You feel me? If so, subscribe to my channel. Let's get it done together.